Darrin, just before we move on to another topic, you know, both the Liberal Party and the Labor Party now have had one female leader. Labor had Julia Gillard, now the Liberals have Sussan Ley. But I'm going to argue, push back on me if you want, that the Liberals should have more credit with women in the electorate because Julia Gillard was installed by Labor factions, whereas Sussan Ley, she was elected by a popular vote of the party room. So the Liberals should get some credit for that, shouldn't they?
What I would say, and as you know, I worked in Julia's office, if you come to the leadership in a close contest, or if there is someone where the zeitgeist creates winners and losers, and the vote for Sussan Ley was quite close, there's always going to be a drumbeat behind you of those who frankly want to see you fail. And I think that's one of the big problems that Sussan Ley faces, that leadership ballot was very close. And there'll be a lot of people who are looking for her missteps rather than her steps forward. And that was certainly the case in the Gillard era, that we could always hear footsteps behind us. There were always minefields ahead of us. And that becomes a really difficult environment in which to operate. So I wish Sussan Ley well, but it's going to be a difficult terrain ahead for her, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. And of course, the sound of footsteps sneaking up behind you is going to be the case whether you're a male or a female in that leadership position. Ted O'Brien, as I said, the deputy in the Liberal Party, has refused to confirm if he'll become Shadow Treasurer following rumours that Sussan Ley offered positions to colleagues prior to her leadership run. O'Brien was pressed on this by Andrew Clennell this morning. Have a look.
Will you be taking on the Shadow Treasury role, do you think?
Those conversations continue to be had, Andrew. We haven't finalised them, and until they are finalised, I won't be preempting any
has she promised it to someone else? Has she promised that job to someone else?
Whether it be for myself or for anybody else. In due course, Andrew, all of that will be made very clear.
Ted,
it's early days. We've had initial conversations.
Let me ask you very, very bluntly, and it's sort of a yes or no question. Has Sussan Ley promised the Shadow Treasurer job to someone other than yourself?
I understand your wish for a yes or no answer to any question, Andrew, and I respect that. I really do. But again, my answer doesn't change. We are having these discussions at the moment.
It looks absolutely shambolic. I would have thought that Sussan Ley and Ted O'Brien would have at least sorted the basics out. Maybe I'm being unfair. So I want to get two angles on this. Darrin, I want to get from you the political machinations of this. And Lisa, I want to get from you whether or not you thought Ted O'Brien handled that well this morning or if he could have done it better. I'll start with you, Darrin. Is it strange that they've not sorted out Ted O'Brien's role as the deputy leader? They're still trying to figure that out?
He either has the option of portfolios or he doesn't. I would have thought that he did. And if he has the option of portfolios, he should say what it is. I have no doubt that he knows what job he's going to get. I respect at one level that they're trying to make it a flat announcement, but those top two positions, that should already be sorted. So he probably should have just fessed up and given the answer as per the question.